In this video, we're going to review how you can delete or cancel a booking in your individual stats for Coligo. As you are watching these videos in sequence, you will remember that we did copy most of these bookings forward, except for Mickey Mouse, who we added individually. And sometimes what happens when you copy your bookings forward, because the modalities come along with it, you may get some modalities on your copied forward list that you did not do today with the resident, and that's okay. What you can do is get rid of that modality, and there are two different ways that you can do so. One is you can actually delete the modality from the list if it's not something that you were supposed to do with the resident today, or it's not something you asked them to do because you weren't scheduled to do it. Or two, if the resident didn't do the treatment even though it was offered for whatever reason, then you must enter the reason that they refused or that the treatment did not take place as it was supposed to. So again, once those modalities copy forward, either they were supposed to be done today or they weren't. If they weren't supposed to be done, you can delete them. If they were supposed to be done and weren't for whatever reason, you must enter the reason. So it's one or the other. So let's take a look at Joe Black, for example. This booking was copied forward with the two modalities in it of strengthening and TENS. And today being a Thursday, you were supposed to do both with Joe. So what happened was maybe Joe refused to do the strengthening exercises today. What I don't want to see is that you click on the ball beside strengthening exercises to delete it, because this leaves the MB in red, which we don't like to see in our stats. What we do like to see in our stats instead is actually entering the reason why you didn't do the treatment with the person. So I'm just going to go back and put strengthening back in. There it is. And so instead of deleting that because Joe didn't want to do it, I'm going to click on it, which opens up the window. I'm going to change the status of this treatment of strengthening exercises to canceled, and I'm going to choose the reason why. Now, there are a number of reasons in here. At the beginning, it may seem kind of overwhelming. As you get used to them, you'll know how to use them. So Joe refused because he didn't feel like doing it today, so I'm going to say not today. And I will update by clicking on update. So this way we see that strengthening was not done today because Joe didn't want to do it, and you can go ahead and enter your stats for the TENS if Joe did it. Let's pick somebody else. Let's pick Mr. Farley Mowat here, and let's say that today being Thursday, today he was not supposed to have the heat or the passive range of motion stretching exercise. He was just supposed to have active assisted range of motion, let's just say. We did copy this booking forward from last week. So last week he may have done this on the Thursday because he was sick on Wednesday, and maybe he's only supposed to do active assisted range usually on Thursdays, but for whatever reason, he did heat and passive range as well on the Thursday. Maybe he was sick on Wednesday. I think I just said that. Anyways, he's not usually supposed to do this on Thursdays, only on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, say. So we need to get rid of these. Now, it's not like in the case of Joe where Joe refused to do it for whatever reason. Well, him being he didn't want to do it today. We didn't do this because it wasn't prescribed to be done today, yet it showed up because it was copied forward from last week. So I need to delete these two modalities from his booking. As I showed you earlier, we would prefer that you not click on the ball here, which leaves that MB in red because then we don't know why it's like that. What you do instead is you click on heat and you go inside the booking and click on delete. Now, Coligo is going to ask you, do you really want to delete it? You say okay, and it will be deleted. You do the same for passive range, delete, okay. The next time, so let's say next week, Thursday, when you copy your schedule forward, only active assisted range of motion will copy forward to the following Thursday. Okay? Along that line, let's say that last week, let's say that you did stair training with Joseph Smith and you also did some strengthening exercises with him. you can re-add another modality even though you've copied the booking forward. You just need to re-click on the little plus and go get the next modality that you were supposed to enter. Okay? Along that line, let's say that with Joseph Smith, you also did tens because it was on his treatment plan. And let's say that when you went to click on tens, you went too fast and clicked on transfers by accident. Because you're going to want to get rid of transfers and replace it with tens, this is what the gray ball is for. This is the only time that you should use this gray ball is if you accidentally put one modality in and need to change it to another. So here you could click on the gray ball to get rid of transfers. Again, you don't want to leave this here. You're going to re-click on the plus and go get tens and click on tens. And then that red MB disappears and you have the correct modality in place. So that is how you can delete, cancel, and add modalities in your booking list in Coligo.